Last week when the Senate unanimously passed a bill that I had introduced called the Jenna law to protect some of the most vulnerable members of our country. This bill carries the name of an inspiring young Texan who is one of 42 million adult survivors of child sexual abuse nationwide. As Jenna says, child sexual abuse is a silent epidemic. 1 in 4 girls, 1 in 6 boys are sexually abused before the age of 18. Those are shocking numbers. Sadly, these victims often stay silent for months, years, some for even a lifetime. As a result, they and countless other victims continue to be subject to abuse. Interrupting this cycle of sexual abuse is Jenna's mission, and one she's devoted her life to pursuing. She was the driving force behind what is now known as Jenna's Law in Texas, which requires training for teachers, caregivers, and other adults who work with children on how to recognize and report child sexual abuse. The signs of child sexual abuse are unique from other forms of abuse, and correctly identifying these signs is integral to bringing children out of a sexually abusive situation. After the Texas law passed in 2009, a study found educators reported child sexual abuse at a rate almost 4 times greater after training than during their pre-training career, 4 times greater. It was one of the first child sexual abuse prevention laws in the United States to mandate this kind of training, and now more than half of all the states have adopted a form of Jenna's Law. But many states, including my state, which have passed these laws, don't provide the funding for the training. Thanks to the legislation that passed the Senate unanimously last week, that's one step closer to occurring. This Jenna law will take the successful reforms in Texas and other states and finally back them with some federal funding for that essential training. This bill will allow current grant funds to the Department of Justice, for example, to be used for specialized training for students, teachers, and caregivers to learn how to identify, safely report, and hopefully prevent future child sexual abuse. This legislation also encourages states with similar laws to implement innovative programs to address the scourge of child sexual abuse. It's a critical step to interrupting this cycle that is impacting children across the country and preventing more children from enduring this trauma.
Subscribe